Hey guys, I'm your friend Chetan Bhola and you are watching Bhola Moto. In this video, we are going to discuss about the Evap system. Evap system, why it is, what it is, and why it is required. So we are going to discuss each and everything about it. If you want to watch the video about purge control valve, you can watch my another video which I have published a few days before. So you can go and watch that video also. So let's start with the video. If you're new to the channel or didn't subscribe my channel, please subscribe it right now, and you can share this video to your friends also. Basically, EVAP is the evaporative emission control system, which is used to control the amount of fuel vapors which are escaping directly into the atmosphere. If these fuel vapors easily get escaped to the atmosphere, they react with air and sun and hence make the smoke. So that's why it is never recommended. So what happens is, what are these fuel vapors? So fuel vapors are some of the hydrocarbons which are present in that fuel. When these are the lighter hydrocarbons, whenever they get ambient temperature, the higher temperature, they get evaporated very quickly. These kind of hydrocarbons include aldehydes, some aromatics, and some paraffins and some olefins. So these kind of hydrocarbons escape or evaporates very fastly and hence escape to the atmosphere. So that's why it is they are never recommended to get escape to the atmosphere. But the problem is that there is always a vent inside the fuel tank. The vent is there so that whenever you draw the fuel from the fuel tank, the air can enter from these vents to the fuel tank. So let's say this is the fuel tank. There will be a hole in the lid of this fuel tank, and when you draw the fuel from this fuel tank, the air will enter from there so as to replace the fuel which you are drawing. So in that way, the fuel tank is never sealed, and you can never seal that. And so whenever the temperature is high, these kind of hydrocarbons can escape through those vents also. So in this way, there is some system which is required, so which can seal this fuel tank. So then this EVAP system is come into play. What happens in this EVAP system is, I would like to explain this diagram to you first. This is the fuel tank, and this is the vent of this fuel tank, which is connected to the carbon canister. And after this carbon canister is connected to the vent, which is solenoid controlled. And after that, another point of this canister is connected to the purge valve, accompanying with the purge flow sensor. And all this system is connected to the ECU, which is monitoring this system all time. So now I will tell you how this system works. So what happens is, whenever your car is parked in the high temperature or some hot weather, what happens is this fuel will start evaporating, and after some time, these fuel vapors will start escaping from this vent towards this carbon canister. And in this carbon canister, there is almost 1 to 2 pounds of the activated charcoal, and this activated charcoal acts like a sponge which is absorbing all these fuel vapors. These all fuel vapors get absorbed by this activated charcoal, and then the rest of the air which is also present in this fuel tank can escape through this vent solenoid. And after that, this is connected to the purge valve. Now let's say this is the situation when your car is parked somewhere, and when you turn on the engine, the engine will start running, and it will draw the fuel from this fuel tank, and then the engine will be running. But after some time, when the engine will get warm up and will be going down the road, what will happen is the purge valve will connect this point of this carbon canister to the intake manifold. And due to the suction created inside the intake manifold, it will be creating some negative pressure in the purge valve, and due to that negative pressure, it will be creating the negative pressure in the carbon canister also. And from there, it will suck the fuel vapors from the charcoal canister, and when it is sucking the fuel vapors, these fuel vapors will be entering through this purge valve to the intake manifold, and this purge flow sensor will be constantly measuring the amount of fuel vapors which are entering inside the engine, and it will be sending the signal to the ECU, and then the ECU will be monitoring that if this amount of fuel vapors are entering inside the engine, then this much less amount of the fuel should be entered inside the engine, so that both fuel vapor and fuel will mix with the air and then make the combustion, air fuel mixture, and hence the combustion will takes place. So in this way, this Evap system is going to work. The amount of the fuel which is going to escape through this fuel tank, and which will be polluting the air, which will be decreasing the fuel available for us. This system helps in controlling the atmospheric pollution, which will be created, which might be created by this, and also it will be helping to increase the mileage, because the fuel which will be getting escaped inside the atmosphere, which will be used by the engine when it is running. So this is how this Evap system works. Now I would like to tell you some specialty of the components of this Evap system. The first component is the fuel tank only, and the fuel tank is having a larger area, so that whenever there is a higher temperature or hot weather, so that whenever this fuel will increase its volume due to high temperature, it can accommodate that amount of fuel also. And now talking about this gas lid, that is the cap of this fuel tank. This gas cap is having a hole, so that it can allow the air to come inside and replace the fuel. But now it is spring actuated, and whenever there is enough suction, which means enough air is required, then only this valve will open. Now talking about the canister, I have already told you that it has 1 to 2 kg of the 2 kg of the 2 kg of the activated charcoal, and this amount of this activated charcoal is going to act as a foam, which is absorbing all the fuel vapors. Now talking about one more device which is connected in this vent. It is the liquid gas separator. This separator is used so that none of the amount of the liquid fuel can enter through this vent to the canister, so which is going to separate the liquid and the vapor, and hence only allowing the vapor to enter inside this canister. There are so many of the error codes which are generated because of this purge valve. I have already explained this purge valve error in my previous video. You can watch that video also. But some more faults can be generated inside this Evap system. P0442 is the error code which is generated when there is some leak in this Evap system. This is quite a difficult error code to solve, because finding the leakage inside this Evap system is quite difficult, because the leak can be very much small and leak can be very much big. So if it is big, you can easily find out, but if it is too small, then it is very much difficult to find that out. So it's up to your luck how you are going to tackle with this error code. So I hope guys you got to learn a lot of things about the Evap system. If you have any doubts and any queries, you can please feel free to ask me in the comment section below. If you have any suggestions, please let me know so that I can improve myself. If you are new to the channel or didn't subscribe my channel yet, please subscribe it right now, because I make 2 technical videos in a week and you are going to have a lot of good stuff. I have already uploaded many videos on my channel. Please go and watch that video so that you can get to know a lot of technical stuff about the automobile engineering. So thanks a lot guys for watching. Keep watching, keep sharing, and keep supporting guys. Thanks a lot.